Nancy and Mickey came. Basically, it's the safety of East End, and the mayor already addressed that. There's an ongoing trying to catch the people that are shooting up our streets. Our concern is it's not safe. It's not safe. We came home from a trip at midnight as this was all unfolding, and we couldn't get out of our car because we didn't know what was going on. And I mean, like, to live in fear is just a horrible thing. It's paralyzing us. Not only that, we're plagued with blighted properties also, and I've heard that time and time and time again. There has to be a time limit. If a property is burnt down, you have 2 years, a reasonable amount of time before that property is torn down, razed, whatever. I would also like to see that any rental property that has over 4 units has to have a surveillance system. And if the police are called to that property and the cameras have been disabled, fine them. Fine them so much that they won't let it happen again, and keep fining them. And I'm sure you could get a security firm that would, offer this service to them, or they could get their own. But somehow we've got to take control of the situation. For us to sit back and not do anything, it's just continuing to happen. And it's with the schools, it's with our towns, it's with our neighborhoods. It's just, the streets, a mess. The storm drains, a mess. I would like to see neighborhoods, coalitions with a street major or whatever, who would call in when the storm drains are clogged. Not every street takes responsibility for their own cleanup. But we have to start, because we're inviting it. We're allowing it to happen. We're turning our heads the other way. And I just would like a 2-week Crime Watch meeting. Give us a plan. Tell us what's going to be done, what we can do proactively to keep it out of our neighborhoods. That's all I have. The streets are, yeah, how could I explain this? I know they use a lot of gravel, I know there's a lot of potholes. You could actually skid down Scott Street with the amount of gravel that's all over the street. That's uncalled for. It's dirty. I don't know what the excuse is. I know I pay my taxes. I know I give my 3% to the city. I contribute. We try to keep our properties nice. We need to have spring cleanup. We just have to. It's just, it looks terrible, so therefore, it invites.
Some of the gravel on the street may be from mixing it with the salt when the roads are icy, and unfortunately that stays there, but that needs to be cleaned up by a street
You
sweeper.
can fill a dump truck on that.
You-
Serious.
It needs to be cleaned up. Yeah.
And as far, are we done, Teresa?
Yeah.
Okay, now, as far as the storm drains go, let me know where they were at, and we'll get somebody out there to get it done for you. I think that's a good idea on the rental property. Over 4 units must have surveillance. Cleanup, I gotta leave that up to the administration. 2-week Crime Watch, Mayor, I don't know if there's something that we can do, educating the public, or should we have them go to the Crime Watch and send an officer there with maybe some helpful tips on what these folks should look at? And, I can get you the schedule for the Crime Watch if you wanna go, because most of the time we do have a police officer there. And maybe we could have a half hour before the meeting starts and just go over everything, and then meet the next month.
I mean, we all live in the same area. We're willing to help. A neighborhood association, whatever. But, we need direction, we need safety, we need police presence. And we need our streets cleaned. We need the burned out properties ripped down after, I think, 2 to 3 years is a reasonable amount of time.
Is there an ordinance now about that, how long the building can sit without being torn down? Do we have anything on the books?
I don't know if there's a time limit. Obviously, there's the physical condition of the building. And I know some come down a lot quicker than a couple of years.
And again, Teresa, if you can get me, because I know Bill Barrett's not here, if you can get me the address of the property that's burned down that you're looking at, maybe the city could look at it from a safety point of view and get it taken down fast.
I would think it's probably the one at Pine and Maxwell.
That's it.
Yeah, there's one on
That should have
Maxwell
been-
Street.
That should have been torn down years ago.
Exactly.
We had a fire on Spring Street where my daughter Nancy lives, and We got a letter from the city back then that gave us something like 3 or 4 weeks to get the property fixed up again. So I don't understand, I'm with Teresa on that property.
Yeah, we see people coming and going out of it, it's not safe, it's just.
Why don't you allow us to take a look and see if we do have an ordinance on the books about, a property like that? And maybe we can look at our next meeting, looking into something like that. I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's an ordinance or not. I know if we have a property that's ready to fall down as a safety hazard, they've been torn down by the city because they're a safety hazard. If that's not the situation about the building you're talking about, and maybe a different situation where it's boarded up, the people are, I have them right now, I had a complaint today where someone, who boarded up the property, the city did, and these kids went in there, they pulled all the plywood off, and they're inside, and we had to re-board it up again. So we have them throughout the city, but if it's a burned out property, maybe we can take a look and see if there is something on the
Yeah,
books.
we have 2 of
If
them.
not, maybe we can do something about it.
Okay, so please get the addresses and let me know where those storm drains are, give me a holler, and then we'll vote.
And what about the cleaning of the streets, is there anything
Mayor, we'll
that's proposed?
Okay, can we get a street cleaner up there? Okay. We'll get it. Thank you.
I'll be said, not just, I'm serious.
Well, I know, my neighborhood's the same way.
I
And
know.
I personally